The last of the hunter-gatherers on Earth. There are just a handful of hunter-gatherer peoples left on Earth today. In addition to the Hadzabe are the Kalahari/Sans Bushmen in southern Africa and a few communities in the Amazon, Arctic, and Papua New Guinea. Today, the remaining 800 to 1,000 Hadzabe remain ardent traditionalists depending on foraging for roots, tubers, collecting berries, baobab fruit, honey, and using bows and arrows to hunt for game in the forest surrounding them. In the background I can see their fragile and impermanent huts made out of sticks they collected in the bush. When there are heavy rains, the whole community stays in caves nearby. The traditional Hadzabe territory had been 930 square miles with game-rich savannas full of wildlife and baobab trees. Over the past 50 years, the tribe has lost 90% of its land due to encroachment and the government selling of large parcels of their historic lands to Arab sheikhs as private hunting reserves. The Hadzabe are now trying to hold on to their last 89 square miles of their historic lands. As their native lands shrink, these semi-nomadic hunter-gatherers are now squeezed into an area around the shores of Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania's Rift Valley. Lake Eyasi, located just south of the Serengeti in Tanzania's Yida Valley, is near Olduvai Gorge where Lewis and Mary Leakey discovered the oldest fossil evidence of early humans from 1.9 million years ago, Homo habilis, the forerunner of modern man, in the 1950s. It is one of the most important prehistoric paleoanthropological sites in the world. Genetic researchers suggest the Hadzabe may represent one of the primary roots of the human family tree extending back 100,000 years ago. Genetic links connect the Hadzabe to the Twa tribe, a pygmy bushman. Hunter-gatherers have been known to exist since the beginning of the late Stone Age 50,000 years ago and the last Stone Age 10,000 years ago. The Hadzabe give us a glimpse of how 99% of the human genus lived prior to the advent of agriculture. Based on Hadzabe oral history, they have always lived in clusters in the area around Lake Eyasi Valley and its surrounding hills. There is no record that they have ever lived elsewhere. A way to understand human migrations is to compare linguistic similarities. The Hadzabe Bushmen share the same click language as the Kalahari Bushmen, Khoisan language, featured in the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy, but they do not share any DNA linking them based on genetic research. Clicks replace vowel sounds. Clicks within their words are used by Bushmen to communicate with one another while hunting in the bush, as the animals do not recognize clicks as human speech and are therefore not scared away when hearing it. The Hadzabe clicks appear to be isolated and unrelated to any other language on Earth. The unique language is called Hadzabe. The Hadzabe apply their extensive knowledge of plants and wild animals by dividing their labor between foraging and hunting. Their diet depends on the seasonal abundance of plants and fruits they forage using digging sticks. A small container is used to collect honey. Hunting tools include bows and arrows, a 3-piece fire starter they twirl in their 2 hands, and baboon skins that protect them from thorns in the bush. They are skillful hunters, tracing their prey unseen as they work as a hunting team. They smear poison made of the boiled sap of the desert rose onto their arrowheads when aiming at big game. Since hunting and gathering is the only way the Hadzabe can provide food for themselves, they are the only peoples allowed to hunt in the Serengeti area. Although foraging is primarily done by women and hunting by men, both genders are often active participants in hunting and foraging. Women and children prepare the animals for meals after the hunters bring their catch back from the bush. Women gather fruits, berries, roots, honey, and care for the children. They forage right up to and even on the day they give birth. Hadzabe have a subsistence economy based on barter. They work, that is, actively pursue food 4 to 6 hours a day. The neighboring Dotoga tribe are agriculturalists who have a blacksmith. The Hadzabe exchange meat for blacksmith's metal arrowheads and exchange honey they've collected in the bush for the Dutoga's vegetables. The Hadzabe are a consensus-based culture. They do not have an official or specified designated leader or an overarching communal hierarchy. No Hadzabe adult has authority over any other Hadzabe adult. All food is shared collectively and they do not engage in warfare. With no specified leaders or centralized authority, this poses a potential threat to their physical and cultural continuity. A leaderless community makes it easy for other peoples to dominate the Hadzabe's native lands. Without permanent shelters, livestock, or produce, they barely leave a footprint on Earth. The Hadzabe live in the present. To them, the present is the only moment that exists. They can't save meat from yesterday because in their hot equatorial climate it rots quickly. They don't have refrigerators to preserve their meat overnight. As wildlife movements are unpredictable, they can't depend on catching anything the next day. Their focus is on one day at a time because that is the only day they have control over. Hadzabe have maintained their way of life despite various forces working against them. Global warming has made it difficult to secure water sources. They have been exposed to surrounding agriculturalist groups for millennia, but the Hadzabe refuse to grow produce. The government continues to pressure them to abandon their hunter-gatherer lives. Several sedentary programs were established to allure them to permanent villages and agriculture, but the Hadzabe refuse to give up their ancient way of life. The Hadzabe survive, clinging to their ancient way of life. As their population decreases to dangerously small levels, they have now become an endangered people. I asked the Hadzabe chief hunter why they continue to live as they do, given they are heading toward extinction. He responded, "If we do not live as hunter-ants-gatherers and stop lighting our fires by rubbing sticks together, we will no longer be Hadzabe." They define themselves exclusively by their cultural way of life.